Hello, good morning, and welcome to what my wife has jokingly, semi-jokingly started referring to as Tommy's Tuesday Tidbits. Whether or not that sticks around remains to be seen. I think probably not. So, three things to talk about this week. The first of which is ChatGPT. So, ChatGPT seems to be going paid for, particularly in the US, but I suspect that this is going to start to roll out globally. It's going to start charging users. So it was already there are already lots of stories about how it was becoming incredibly expensive for OpenAI to run. I think they're now going to turn it into a paid-for service. There's also talk about its integration with Bing, as I've discussed previously, and about how Microsoft might roll it out across their business tool suite. I think that this is just another step in the direction of this kind of natural language AI becoming integrated in all of our different work processes. I don't think it's going to replace jobs like top quality copywriting, but I do think that it will become a tool that every copywriter uses, every proofreader will use, every social media manager will use, every digital marketer really is probably going to have one tab open with ChatGPT on it from now on. And I just think that is because it makes your life so easy. I don't know about you guys, but I am often using it for very simple tasks, just to come up with ideas or a bad bit of copy that I've seen somewhere. I'll drop it in ChatGPT, it'll rewrite it for me, and then I'll give it a quick rewrite or quick edit myself. Often I do find myself rewriting ChatGPT stuff as well, but it is a really useful tool. Copywriting will remain a high-value skill, I believe, because I don't think ChatGPT is doing that job of a human yet. But clearly, there are a million different use cases, and you only have to Google it to find those. So yes, ChatGPT is going to become a tool that you and I will use every day and probably pay for, is my suspicion. But it won't replace us, I don't think. So let me know in the comments if you disagree. Second thing I want to talk about this week, MrBeast has updated his bio on Twitter to now say super official Twitter CEO. So for those of you that don't know who MrBeast is, he is a YouTuber, the most successful individual on YouTube, the fourth most followed YouTube account in the world. The reason I say this is because I would have assumed everybody would know who he is, but it turns out not everybody does. I was having a conversation with my other half the other day about MrBeast, and she'd never heard of him. And I think there are vast swathes of people who don't interact with this kind of weird YouTube world who just don't know who the guy is. But the fact is, he's very, very good. He's a genius at what he does, which is creating kind of high budget, stunty, super engaging YouTube content. So the retention rates on his videos are insane. He gets millions upon millions of views. I'd encourage you to go and check them out. If any of you are in any way content creators, you might not want to do what he does, but look at the techniques he uses in terms of quick cuts and in terms of just making it's thing after thing after thing. You don't want to click away. You don't want to pause. You just want to keep watching. You see the thumbnails. You just want to click on them. It's very, very clever. Now, is he going to become the CEO of Twitter? Who knows? So there have been public conversations between him and Elon on Twitter, and he has sort of pitched for the job. So whether or not it will actually happen, I don't know. It would be very unorthodox. The guy's only 24, but he's made massive global businesses already. Elon is certainly not known for his kind of orthodox methods. He might decide to take a punt on this guy who has clearly shown aptitude for amazing viral content creation. So it might happen. And if it does, I think you'll immediately see the Tesla stock price shoot through the roof, because it will mean that Elon isn't the CEO of Twitter anymore. And Lord knows that's been causing headaches for many Twitter investors, I think. And then what MrBeast does with the platform, if he does become CEO, it will be super, super interesting to see. He might make it into a real kind of competitor for the attention of content creators. And then, if you get the investment from the top content creators, you will see the platform grow and grow and grow. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. As I say, he's only changed his bio, but there's loads of speculation. So I think it would be really exciting if it does. Finally, the last thing, Chinese tech rebound. So many of you will not have even heard of a company called Didi, but Didi is a ride-hailing app from China, which was, until about 18 months ago, insanely successful. So they took on Uber in China and won, and then bought out all of Uber's Chinese operations. They had plans to grow globally. They were going to move into Europe. They were going to move into the US. And it all got basically shut down by the Chinese government. At the same sort of time, they were also cracking down on Ant Group, a massive financial company that listed in the US and then delisted because of the trouble they had with their own government. It now seems that relations are thawing between the Chinese government and the Chinese tech firms. China has big problems, as the rest of the world does, obviously, but China's got serious problems with their real estate market. They've got serious problems with their demographics. Their demographic shift, they're kind of having to contend with a growing, aging middle class in the same way that we in the West have been contending with for years, but hasn't really been on the agenda of China. It very much is now. There's if you look up Peter Zayan, he believes that China's on the verge of demographic collapse. Clearly, they've got plenty of serious economic issues. It may be that the government is now placing its bets on their previously wildly successful tech companies to get their GDP growing again and get the economy powering again as it once did. Obviously, now they're coming out of zero COVID. I think there's going to be an expectation for the economy to grow in a big way as it did previously. So it'll be really interesting to see, because what I think they might find is that they're going to start facing increasing resistance from the US. Why is that? Because they are, in previous videos, you'll remember I mentioned ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, another Chinese tech firm doing incredibly well, has had to accept Chinese government ownership over that parent company, ByteDance. So that not entire ownership, but they have what's called golden shares. These are investments which allow them to appoint board members and give them an element of insight and control over these firms. I suspect the same thing is going to happen with Didi, and the same thing's probably going to happen with many other of these technology companies. I do not think the American government is going to like that. I think we're already seeing some resistance to TikTok in the US. I think that's going to grow. And I think that you might, these really innovative and exciting tech companies might find that just as they get out of the tricky situations they've had with their own government, they might start to find that the US now is also not a massive fan. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that develops over the next year, because as I say, I do think that these companies have a lot to offer the world. I think they are very innovative and potentially very exciting. It'd be great to see Uber have a proper competitor. To be honest, I've really fallen out of love with that app. I don't know about you guys, but we shall see. In any case, it's going to be a damn interesting year, I think. So that's it from me. I would love to hear your thoughts about any of what I've spoken about, and let me know whether you think my wife's nickname for these video updates is a good one. Tommy's Tuesday Tidbits. I have to say, I think it's not great, but you know, if I get any feedback, then maybe I'll use it. Thanks also to all of you that have been in touch via DM. It's great to chat to people and to know that people are watching these. So yeah, that's it from me. I will see you next week. Bye.